Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you me being absolutely insufferable. So, Stat Check updated their data. That's it. This is Stat Check's data. Go check out Stat Check. And of course, you know what I want to talk about. It is the bugs. And why am I insufferable? Because taking a quick peek over it, I saw good news. One of my former favorites is on the top of our detachments, that being Crusher Stampede, coming in at 59% on the win rate and a 1.06 overrep and a 4-0 event start rate of 15% and one event win. Somehow, Crusher Stampede is on top. Now, that somehow being the fact that, well, I guess people really did decide to shift into things that we can kill with our monsters, and when we do that in Crusher Stampede, it goes well for us. And I would like to say, we haven't had the stock standard copy paste list. It's been variations of it. We've seen anywhere between 1 and 3 Norns, or I guess I should say 0 to 3 Norns. We've seen the tried and true classes of Exocrine and Maliceptor coming back out. We've seen several Harospexes into the mix. Because people are finally realizing after the stint with Assimilation Swarm, and I guess I should also thank Subterranean Assault for this too. But people are realizing that yes, 18 attacks on a 125 point body is okay. So I'm happy that Crusher Stampede is looking at 59%. And full disclosure, I have to adjust very slightly, so I'm sorry if you hear this. But for some odd reason, my astigmatism started kicking my butt right there while I was looking at this. But with 13 players, 72 games played, one tourney win, it's looking like if you want to do things with bugs, for once, Crusher Stampede, I should say for twice, in 10th edition, Crusher Stampede is looking like a pretty good choice. Then I saw Synaptic Nexus here, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? So, between 4 players and 17 games, won over half of them, 56%. Small sample size, I don't know why this keeps happening, where like one random month out the year, Synaptic Nexus looks like okay by the small amount of people playing it, and then it just like dips into obscurity. I don't know why this keeps happening, but here's Synaptic Nexus. Maybe it's the fact that we can bring Norns again. I'll be honest, none of the Synaptic Nexus lists have come across my face. I don't know where to find them. So if you know somebody that's driving a bunch of Synaptic Nexus like home, please tell them to drop down below what's working for them, or at least working enough, right? 56%. And we come to Invasion Fleet at 64 players, 330 games played, 50%, right down the middle, one tournament win. Goodness. So, Invasion Fleet, index 50%. That's okay. And that is probably the best sign out of everything. So, yeah, Crusher Stampede is bigger and bolder, right, with 59%, but with 13 players, okay? So, on the flip side, I think the healthier number is the fact that our index is at 64 players, and out of 330 games, you can win about half of them. 9% on the 4-0 event start, so we'll just go ahead and round that up, right? A tenth of the players here, 4-0 event start, yeah, that's not too bad. And for that, we've been seeing several iterations of Invasion Fleet 2 pop up, which I enjoy, and I'm glad that again, I'm glad to say that we're not doing cookie cutter bullshit times 12. Everybody run the exact same list. It's nice to see a list have some sort of identity and things be playable into the new things that have been coming out and like doing things. So it's nice to see that that's been the path for us. I will say I want to see more of them into each other. I want to see Swarm into uh, mid-tier, like Ravener, that mid-tier Ravener Gene Stealer build that we've seen. I guess you could say damn near Vanguard Onslaught. Uh, Vanguard Onslaught-esque build. So I do wonder, and I will say Turvy has not fallen, but fallen out of favor. I don't know how many people are taking Turvy right now, but it seems that Turvy and the Termagants is coming down in usage. And that can go kind of any way. Either people get tired of moving that many bodies in Invasion Fleet, or, you know, they just want to play with something else. And that's fine. So 50%, right on that margin, perfect place to be for an index detachment. And we come to Subterranean Assault, which has the most wins at 2, but 48% win rate. So approaching 50, so that's not bad. But it is kind of interesting that with 53 players, either people are, and it's odd, right? I think we could all agree that Subterranean Assault is the de facto best detachment we have of 10th edition. So it is kind of funny that, I don't know, shit just isn't working for us, because you go like, well, there's no defensive strats. There's like not really defensive things in Crusher Stampede. And then you go, well, yeah, Crusher has more offense with +1 to wound. But there's reroll 1s in Subterranean Assault. So I think it's kind of funny that it's falling down. Whether that be that people are more equipped to handle Raveners and Trigons now, or people finally realize how to destroy the holes and actually screen out areas, it's just interesting that our probably de facto best detachment is not the best performing one at this time. If anybody would like to debate on, well, I'll tell you right now, I'm not debating anybody in my comments. I'm not doing that. Uh, the school season is back, and let me tell you, students do enough of that. But so you can have at it on that one. But if anybody would like to make a claim that Crusher is the best detachment, I mean, I wouldn't tell you no because I like it. But if let's go to Synaptic Nexus. If you want to go ahead and make a shout for that because it's performing better amongst the smaller margin of players, a smaller pool of players, than Subterranean Assault, sure. I'd love to hear the argument for that one. I would definitely love to hear the argument for that one. But yeah, Subterranean Assault still at 48. That's not bad. Nobody can fault it for a 48 per se. It's like close enough to 50. And it has a 1.04 overrep and the same 9% 4-0 event start as Invasion Fleet. It's just kind of interesting that the fact that you need burrower units might be the thing that's shifting everything, because you can take the exact same shit in Invasion Fleet and Cursor Stampede in Subterranean Assault, but you just need a way to make the holes. You don't get the 5 up Feel No Pain, you don't get 5 crits on 5s. You do have a regen, so there is that. It's not, as good, but you do have a regen. It's just kind of funny. Just kind of funny to me. And does that make my weird brain, my weird hipster appealed brain, really want to lean towards Subterranean Assault myself? Probably not, but I will openly admit I have been missing the Trigon out of uh, my funky little list. And, well, I'm bringing it back, and I can tell you, it's, I don't, yeah, it's not as big of a surprise anymore. Now people will just go, but this isn't Subterranean Assault, and it's just like, yeah, yeah. So Subterranean Assault, 48%. Then we come to Vanguard Onslaught, which with 18 players, so more than Synaptic, of course, and more than Crusher, is at the same 48 as Subterranean Assault. It has a higher overrip and a higher event start, 101 games. So I guess you don't need to worry too precisely. But it is interesting that seemingly, right, we can at least blame the Raveners. Between Subterranean Assault and Vanguard Onslaught, maybe we can at least blame the Raveners. I know that I've glazed the hell out of them, and I know that I have quite a few monstrosities that are like, they're like, okay. So maybe those being in the list more are kind of holding us back. And I will say, seeing what they've done with the Tau stealth battle suits, now I want to know why GW is leaning towards this. Hey, do a if you're a useful unit, you have to go to a 5-man kind of thing. I don't know what's going on with that. I guess that should have been our like sign with the Aquilin Tempest, the fucking Aquilons, whatever the hell. I forget guard names. There's a bunch of you fucks. But those coming down, that was like the sign of what they want that to do. Maybe because they don't want small units to just fit on the board. I don't know. But screening out 5 bodies is easier than screening out 3. So that might also explain why our Raveners went up in unit size as well. And I'm sorry, that's like kind of a divulge from Vanguard Onslaught, but thinking about it, if the game is moving towards, and who knows what's going to happen in 11th, but moving towards 5-mans being the thing that have to come down, and what, the Storm Boys? Thinking about Tactical Brigade? Huh. Maybe. But yeah, so maybe Raveners are getting screened out even more than before and harder to manage. So there's that. Then we go on to Assimilation Swarm. Shout out to the six people playing it at the tourneys. 23 games played, 43%. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, full disclosure, I thought it was going to be even worse. And again, I feel that if you can make Crusher work right now, you can make Assimilation Swarm work. Don't ask me to elaborate right now. I might dedicate to a separate video for that, but maybe it's just because of the way that I go into both of them that I feel that way. But for me, Assimilation Swarm Monster Mass is just much more effective, so I think maybe if Assimilation Swarm continues on that path and we see more Haruspex, more Psychophages, we've seen a couple of effective Psychophages. More of that lean to it versus the Pyrovore builds and Tyrant Guard builds that people seemingly love to run. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. But if we pivot full towards that, and hell, maybe Triple Norn Assimilator. I know it's overcosted, and I know it's not as tanky as the Emissary, but it would definitely be interesting to see if we finally get Triple Norn Assimilator builds. I don't own 3 Assimilators, I'll tell you that one for free, but, there's that. And then we come down to Warrior Bioform Onslaught, which, shout out to the one person that put it on here. You won a third of your games, that's completely fine. Like, I'm not going to fault you for it. There's hope on the horizon that Warrior Bioform Onslaught might be buffed in the future with the unveiling of the WCW model, the Tyranid Prime with Last Whip. To which a lot of you asked a great a great question that I don't know where the fuck the Bone Sword is. Don't get it. But, I mean, if it means that some of you, I know a lot of you, have felt very passionately about Warrior Bioform Onslaught, get to play this to a better degree later, that might be okay. And to that point, I have seen this comment before. I can't remember if it was under one of my own videos or when I was looking at somebody else's opinion of the model. But if there's a separate Tyranid Prime, there is a chance that now you have enough leaders for max warriors in Warrior Bioform Onslaught. How significant that is, I don't know, because of course they'll cost points. So, hey, maybe there's that. But if warriors move into like a 5-man versus this 3-man that we keep seeing, like the 3-man to 5-man transition we're seeing, maybe that changes things for the better. Maybe they get pointed appropriately. Who knows? I would assume they'd still be worse than hyper adapted Raveners because it feels like Do I want Hyper Adapted Raveners or do I want Warrior number 3789? Like, I don't know. But that's far off into the distance. Just more to say that it looks like somebody is getting their reps in with Warrior Bioform Onslaught before their new model comes in spring of next year. So you got a lot of time to practice and get real acquainted with the detachment if that's what you're looking forward to. But yeah, Tyranids overall. Let's crunch that back. We're smack dab in the middle at 50%, where we typically are. Uh, we've very rarely strayed higher than like 52. Uh, that's kind of what we do. We are very middle of the road. We're at the bottom of the 50%. So, like, eh. But if we're doing average, it's better than the last few months where we were bottom three. So, at this point, I'm overjoyed that we are median detachment. Never been so happy to be median detachment. But yeah, that's what we're looking at for Tyranids. It's kind of hard to read some things considering all the new things that are coming into the game, in my opinion. And by new things, I mean Space Marine Detachment number 872. Uh, did I say 872 twice? I don't know what the other number I threw out quickly was, but I whatever they're doing with some of these releases, it's definitely interesting. And then they have to re-look at them because I'm hearing some people are already not happy. Like Legion of Votann got their codex. That's not great. Drukari hasn't been treating them well. Emperor's Children are all the way down here, and they came out this edition. Like, there's things that still need to be addressed. So I'll see where we go for the end of this edition. But for right now, 50%, I will take that much more than what we were before. So yeah, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment from a comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.